Carry Venge is looking like this. Yep, I wanted to say it before they picked because I feel like Carry Venge is looking like a thing.
It could be. Still, I'm not sure if and how it's gonna lane against the Timber. That is the problem. But then again, you have the Mars, so once the Mars is level 6, you can rotate. 3 points in the magic missile is a thing, so the Timbersaw might be able to die. There is a chance for that. They go for the Keeper of the Light, which is something that is quite interesting. We don't know if it's a core or if it's a support. Against the Void Spirit, I'd be quite okay with it being a core. It's the only thing that can catch him. Nothing else really jumps on the Keeper of the Light, and you have the Vengeful Spirit save as well.
It's looking a bit like the Coddle is going to be flexed between the 2 and the 4, and Wind's going to be like 5 and 2, basically. So they're trying to think what's going to be the best laning for them. I would like the Mars Coddle combo. Heavy amount of damage, makes it very hard for any carry hero to play against. Even a Lifestealer with magic immunity is going to take a beating from Mars Coddle. And Windranger Vengeful Spirit, if they go 1 and 5 against the Timbersaw, I don't really see them having much kill potential, but they can definitely keep the Timber away from actually killing either of these, because Venge scales very fast into damage. His mid-game peak and right-click damage, we talked about the flat white damage, is very good on this hero. You have some good surprise potential. You have the Black Hole Cancel as well, because you have very high range on your your ultimate on the second level at level 12. Basically, Vengeful Spirit is very good against the Enigma, where Enigma's like, I just want to use my Black Hole. He's like, well, I'm going to cancel it every time. So I kind of like the Venge Wind as a duo. I would like to see Coddle, though, either as a 2 or a 4, depending what Army Geniuses want to last pick.
It would be, it is actually an interesting point. You know, the Venge and the Wind, level 1 and level 2 until the Timbersaw is level 3, they can actually apply a lot of damage on the Timber, especially if it's a position for Enigma. If it's a position for Shadow Shaman, he can help a bit, but even the hero is too slow and not that durable, so you could be in trouble of dying yourself. So I'm actually liking that point that you made, that the Wind and the Venge can be quite formidable in the laning stage, especially at the start. And they can keep the Timber away. You deny the first 2 waves of him. You make him get level 3 later on. That could be a solid approach from RSG.
I kind of like the last Medusa ban coming out from Army Geniuses, where they're saying, well, this Venge is going to be a support in the end. That kind of means Coddle Mars, mid Wind Ranger, and a support Vengeful Spirit, by the looks of it. So they want to last pick a carry. This is how Army Geniuses are reading it. I mean, it could still be a carry Venge. They can still swap it around. And then go for the mid pick as their last, or a +4 as their last if they want to put Coddle into mid. So there's a lot of flex in RNG strap. Army Genius is like, we don't want to play against this, we don't want to play against that. Getting rid of both carries as well on the side of RSG with the Wraith King and the Spectre bans. Spectre kind of makes sense. That kind of just ruins RSG's draft completely if you go up against the Spectre. There's no way you're going to win that game in late game with a draft like this.
Yeah, so what are they going to... They go for a TA.
Okay. So
I mean, TA...
Yeah, go ahead.
TA can be a strong late game hero, especially when you're followed up by Enigma and you know that the Timbersaw is going to secure everything, but you're going for this timing based. If you're, let's be honest, you want to crush the game around the 20-minute mark, you get the Deso, you get the Roche, and you push forward. So it does make sense them having the Shadow Shaman now. I didn't like the pick initially, but now it does make sense, and of course that is a good response to the TA. So I think we kind of have swapped roles here. So RSG going for the later portion of the game, and Army Geniuses going for the earlier start. And RSG have good things to push out the waves, but the problem I have with them is that their supports are pretty weak and can easily die to the Void Spirit and the Shadow Shaman. That is the main concern I have for RSG.
A very gold and Wind Ranger, a support Vengeful Spirit to go with the TB. TB versus Timbersaw. This feels like a very legendary lane matchup in a way, because it's like this is a championship matchup, right? Because when you look at TB and Timbersaw, you see it on the big stages, you see it in the big games, but it's not like the most common carry versus offlane matchup that you get to see. So I'm excited if MKS can get a good early game, just like he did on the Ursa. He hit 4.7k net worth in the first 10 minutes, had 2 kills. Then he got killed once, but that was a fantastic start for him. So if he can get something like that on a Terrorblade, not having to leave the lane too early to rotate into the triangle and start doing Ancient Farm with your Metamorphosis, I can see RSG having a very good game. But if TB slugs a bit, you got Shadow Shaman who takes down towers. You have Timbersaw who takes down towers. You have Enigma who takes down towers. You have TA with Deso who takes down towers. Where are you gonna go? I mean, like,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen?
I think big deal, as you mentioned there, RSG are gonna have a really big situation in this game is, can you kill the Timbersaw? If it comes to a point where the Timbersaw can't die around the 10 to 15 minute
10 to
mark,
15, yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 15, while the TA is farming, then you are in so much trouble, because the TA will get her items, they will take down the tier 1s on the back of a fat Timbersaw, and they're gonna overtake everything. If you can't kill, and you have the you actually have the tools: Power Shot, Magic Missile, Mars spells, and the Coddle. So you can't kill him. You definitely can't do it. But I think, as you mentioned, the laning phase is gonna be pretty important. Not only for how much is the TB gonna get for him to get strong, but also how much can you delay this Timbersaw's timing. If he gets to an unkillable point and there's just a Void Spirit there around him, you jump on the Timbersaw, there's a turnaround, you die. You're in so much trouble. You lose the Roche, and then this carry-to-carry matchup that is going in your favor for RSG will never really succeed. So the reason why I'm okay with this RSG lineup is because they know how to play the early game, despite them being the stronger later portions of the game lineup, because they have the Terrorblade. They know how to play the early game and how to punish the heroes who are going too deep. So I think that is the gonna be the main point of this game. Can you bring down the Timber? If not, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I kind of like the way the laning stage will kick off for RSG. If they can punish this TA right away, I think it was a game that you and I cast where we saw the level 2 Templar getting a kill in the lane. I was like, that should never happen, but it did. So if TA is able to get an early kill or head to level 3 plus level 3 as soon as possible, they can basically secure the lane for the TA at that point, and she's going to be okay. But Coddle, Mars, well, Coddle in general is going to be very annoying, but it's going to be the Mars and the Wind Ranger in the lane. They kind of need to push the advantage to slow down the TA, but they also need to get their Wind Ranger to relieve the pressure off of their safe lane. They need to win TB's lane. Even if they don't kill, they need to drop them low. Timber, sadly, is just going to regenerate anyway, but, you know, you need to push them away, keep them away from your TB, and through that way, RSG can come out strong from the laning stage.
Also, one thing, if there is this path as well for RSG, if in the early mid game, once the laning stage is kind of coming to an end, if you think that you cannot kill the Timbersaw, the worst thing you can do is go to a Timbersaw at a time that you can't kill him or you don't bring enough heroes. So if you're uncertain of it, then it's gonna be on MKS to mirror the push of Army Geniuses. So if you're losing a tower, you at least need to take a tower of your own. So that's something that we might see.
Slow is coming out from the TB into the stun. Illuminate Blast as well. It's looking like Narman's gonna be first blood as they've got the Venge done in 3 seconds. That is a very dead Enigma. And MKS will take, even if Xiao Bonbon comes in with the power shot to try and get that extra bit of damage in. It's gonna be RSG with the first kill, and for the TB out of all heroes. So fantastic start for MKS.
For sure. We'll see if he can, you know, a raid band can definitely change something in the lane. He's not going to go for it. He will go for the magic wand, but still extra stats against the Timbersaw. We talked about the first few levels when you can actually pressure him, push him back, not allow him to get all of the CS that he wants. That can change the outcome of like level 3, and then until level 6, you know, the Timbersaw won't be a problem. And I think that's what RSG are gunning for. So pretty big kill.
Pretty good. Yeah, might look for another one as well. Over is going to get slowed down by the God's Rebuke and body blocked by Xiao Yu. And that is looking like a second kill, but High Ground Miss comes out. Another one, but Rogers does not miss for a second time in a row. So that's going to be the second kill for RSG. And they also tie up the runes 2-2. We saw RSG took all 4 bounty runes in game number 1. So now with a 2-2 plus 2 kills, I think we're still looking at a technical 4-0 in maths. EU maths, by the way.
Maths never goes wrong. Either way,
Exactly.
so that's RSG's top lane getting the kills, and that is the lane that RSG should struggle at. That is the one that you're not going to be doing too well at. And now they are not struggling. They're actually pressuring back Womi. As we said, bottom lane should be pretty solid for RSG. You know, Mars and the Wind Ranger plus Zhao Bonbon being the level 30 Wind Ranger. So he knows what he's doing. It's going to be a pretty solid one. And, you know, Exilern should be farming more than the Void Spirit. Even if the creeps in the lane are going to be relatively the same, you're going to be farming the woods faster. You're going to be farming everything faster. Maybe even your enemy's small camp. So it's a great start for RSG. Again, this team knows how to play the early game, and it always kind of works out for them at the start.
Yeah. Both hard camps have been blocked in both lanes, but both easy camps are open. Wondering, sometimes you see the opponent's offlaner block your easy camp, but in this case, both are left open. What's the reasoning behind that, Harry? Because sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Well, you know, you would love to have the camp open on the top lane, but the thing is, Enigma is a hero that wants to block all of the camps. It's actually weird to me that Roger didn't actually leave that camp unblocked, because the Enigma with the Eidolons will always do it. That's the reason that you leave it with the Enigma, because you know that with the Eidolons you'll be able. Okay, Narman makes a mistake. So.
And Roger blocks it himself. So Eidolon's expired, but Roger still stays inside the box, blocks it again. Bottom easy camp that did spawn. I guess with all the battling that they had going on in the river, allowed it to spawn as they were hunting for kills instead of focusing on the lane. Womi is also going for early tankiness on the Timber Saw, but yeah, go on.
When you look at the bottom lane, you kind of expect RSG to maybe be able to push in. They have spells to do it, but you can see the DB is doing a good job with the side blades, making sure that the lane gets pushed out. He wants Shadow Shaman to be able to go for pulls. He wants to push RSG back, because then your ability to stop the pulls isn't just gonna be quite there. The Wind Ranger, of course. Oh,
okay, interesting. Actually, a kill in the top lane with Womi and Narman.
That is Narman surprising, Roger. There's no doubt about it. RSG, you know, you want to use the meta, be aggressive on Womi, and then just Narman comes over. And this time around, they don't have vision of the Enigma, so you can see a light and day difference in terms of positioning from the support against the Enigma.
And with that kill, Timber is now also level 4, so unkillable. They have no way of actually killing this Timber Saw anymore. Like, this magical damage poke is not enough. The right-click damage from the TB is getting out-healed by the 2 points of reactive armor. So Timber is going to be fine from now on, allowing the Enigma to jungle a bit more as well. Maybe even rotate for the 4-minute Water Rune, spawning in 20 seconds. You can already see the movements coming out from Zhao Bonbon. Also finds another ward. There's been a lot of dewarding going on, except for this early lost boy placed by Roger. And Enigma's courier, that's his boots. He wants it. Oh, he gets it. Yeah, Narman has been abusing this specific spot. This is really smart. So Enigma places himself here, and the courier is still able to give... Oh man, that looks so bad. He is able to pick up the items from the river while being on the high ground. And he's been abusing that as well in the last game. That he doesn't have to walk around a long route or sacrifice his courier. He just meets him up for the items that he needs, and he stays in the enemy jungle.
It's okay. You're talented for maths and statistics. You don't have to be good at the drawing as well. Bottom lane though, DB.
Pushed spear to the tower with a spear. Yep, very heavy damage. Melt strike to dodge an attack, but the power shot's still going to be there, and there's another God's Rebuke ready. He's surely dead for. He does have refraction charges, and he's just going to stand his ground.
Stand and fight.
There's nowhere to run anymore. Spear connects onto the Shadow Shaman as well, so a bit of extra damage dealt, though not really any trouble. But it's still a big kill, getting the TA in the bottom lane. I don't think that was too much of a surprise, but MKS, okay, he should be okay.
The winning the lane against the TA is you know, it always feels good, but it's
Shackle shot.
Azura.
Does he get? Oh, he gets it. Illuminate, nice. Power shot, Illuminate from the Shackle shot. Nothing that the Void can do. Beautiful play.
That is just a beautiful rotation, and he knows that his Mars has 3 bracers, so he's like, okay, you're tanky enough to stay alone. And RSG again crushing the early laning stage. You know, Womi is unkillable on the top lane, but the thing is, with the early kills, they did manage to push the Timber Saw back in the early levels. So in terms of net worth, he's definitely not close to the Terrorblade.
Yep.
And the only thing you need to do now on RSG is make sure that this
Enigma,
catapult dies.
Got Metamorph into the stun. They're going to kill this Enigma for sure. He was maybe overstaying his welcome, you know, trusting his Timber Saw a little bit too much. But in the end, it is you responsible for your own hero. So a pretty good kill there for RSG. Second kill for the
The top lane went perfectly for them. MKS now, even if he would go full-time jungle, if he sees that heroes are missing on the map, off the map, mainly the Void Spirit, he's okay staying in the jungle. He has destroyed the first siege creep. He can be in the jungle until the second one, and then if he sees his tower being pressured, he doesn't have to be there. He can go and mirror the movement on the bottom lane.
Exactly. I really have to commend MKS. I really enjoy watching this guy play during the course of this series. Like, getting out the strong ends, really good reads, very good comms. Because they're finding success without actually losing his hero. I mean, he did die once on the Ursa, but that was a 3-man rotation, basically, with the opponent's mid was like, we need to kill this guy on the Ursa. But starting his game strong on this TP as well, this is going to be RSG's insurance for his mid-game itemizations to kick in. Roger is going to intercept the Timber Saw, but there comes Azura on the Void Spirit as well. They were looking for the TP in the jungle. They're going to have to suffice with a vengeful kill. So Azura, even if he picks up the support, that's a kill for him, but that wasn't the prize they were looking for. Or
here's the prize.
Is he overstaying his welcome? He does not have Sunder, and he won't be able to get it, so it pays off into a double kill. As Azura is going to find MKS in the end, so classic caster curse karma strikes once again. You say some good stuff, and you end up getting killed.
The main reason for that move from the Void Spirit, though, was the ward. That is the main thing. And him catching the Venge there and not going straight for the TB doesn't show the ward immediately, though. Varish, poor guy.
Illuminate really hurts. Coddle's right-click damage is also very nice at this stage of the game. They're trying to slow him down for the Malefice stun, but then losing vision, and an arena is popped down by Zhao Yu. Will take down Norman. Void Spirit also very low on HP. Has to play this very carefully. Has one Astral Step charge, so he's still battling with the Wind Ranger. He knows that there's 3 enemies around, so nicely he plays his calm. He's going to get the bottle charge here from the Shadow Shaman as he arrives. Good play there, getting the bottle refill. A lot of support players would have just started running somewhere or TPing somewhere, so very important. It's like, hey, I can fill your bottle. Okay, sure, just wait.
With this kind of a start, RSG, you can see that they're pressuring multiple lanes. They don't want the Timber Saw to be able to do whatever he wants. So RSG, they sent the Coddle on top now with the Boots of Travel. You might not even need to attempt to kill the Timber Saw, because even if he gets a kill on Roger right now, it doesn't change much if the towers are not
they actually kill the
falling.
Timber Saw here? Because he's taking a lot of damage and he's down! The Timber was supposed to die between the 10 to 15 minute marker where you are ganking the Timber, but the Timber is ganking you and you're killing him 8 minutes into the game. That's fantastic for RSG.
They did everything. They cleared out their top part of the map from vision, so the Terrorblade is going to be safe there. Naturally, you want to be farming your jungle a bit longer now because the bounty rune is there and not in the triangle. So they cleared it out. They put vision. The Timber Saw now. I'd actually like for Womi to play the Timber. Okay, let's look.
Good read on the top lane. That is a core Coddle, but do they have the damage to kill him because he is so hard to take down? And the Mars is ready for the protection as well. If they were to jump on him, would have had the arena prepared. And Azura, by Azura, by Azura, by Azura. Should be getting out there before the fan arrives. But yeah, I mean, I'm not I'm not biased or anything, but I just want to say that I really like watching RSG's early game. Like 2 games in a row, really good laning stage from them.
And they're smoking. They don't want to stay on the top lane for too long. They know that the Keeper of the Light will be able to return. So this is a fast smoke to get Zhao Bonbon and Zhao Yu out of the top lane and to control more of the map. And now if they force out TPs on the mid lane, the bottom tower will just fall from the Terrorblade illusions.
Maybe they can set up in the mid lane as they can see the Void walking in, and he does not get the Dissimulate out. He did manage to turn the hero around. They don't actually have the damage to kill him. Power shot is also gonna miss here from Xiao Bonbon. Good attempt, good read though. Void was awake. He did get to turn the hero model around, but just couldn't get the Dissimulate out in time. But he still gets to walk back home to the fountain, regenerate, and live another day. He is missing out on farm during this duration, though, so small economy damage dealt. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they've got the Metamorph up and a Catapult. I think they should just push this tower.
Narman is in position, though.
He is, yeah. Black hole.
They're not seeing
available.
anyone on the map. You see the Terrorblade, he doesn't see the supports of the enemies. Or he doesn't see the supports and he doesn't need the Void Spirit. He knows that he can die. So he's just going back. RSG are quite happy with this one. They have delayed the timing of the Army Geniuses, how the towers are not falling. As I said, I would like for Momi to play the type of Timbersaw that ATF played in that game in the major where they had the troll. But the problem is you don't have a troll in this game. You have the TA, which is a timing-based hero. So it is a problem for Womi. And you know that if you die a few more times now, until minute 15, that your whole team is going to be in trouble. So he's going for a Yule's, which is the item that might allow him to survive, but it's definitely going to be a hard one. And they even use the Serpent Wards, so they won't be used for Roche. RSG is controlling every part of the map exactly the way they want to.
And they're looking to also send some people into the top lane. There's 4 heroes from RSG to defend this tower. Roger trying to deny. No, gonna work out. Not enough damage to time it in between the ward hits. Tower fall.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yep, they
That's
take
okay.
the tower. Opens up the map a bit for AG. RSG, not a huge loss for them. And as you already mentioned, they won't be taking Roshan for 2 minutes at least. So gives them time to prepare. That's what both supports are up to here. Varys getting stunned. There's one tree. There was one lonely tree, and it did not connect the Shackle Shot when it probably should have, because Shackle Shot's a broken spell. But they still got the kill anyway, as Exercise Learn comes in with the Illuminate from the Caudal Blast.
So you can see what RSG want to do now. They have a point that they're not going to be crossing. They don't want to get too close to... Oh, Zhao Yu?
Yeah, Nickman's like, when do I come into the picture? But two
Timber
fights
own.
breaking loose. They're looking for the Timber in the top lane as Zhao Yu's getting out, and the Timber's getting killed in the top lane. So Army Genius is losing again a hero on the map, and that's Womi's Timber dead for the second time.
EB is now looking at
Free
the map
farm.
and thinking, I have to help my team. He is thinking about it. You can see he's going towards the mid lane, but RSG are just controlling the map so great. I like this ward from Army Geniuses on the bottom lane, and I think it has to be used to attack the Terrorblade. You might not need to get the kill, but you need RSG to TP multiple heroes on the bottom lane. If there are 3 playing on top, if the status quo remains this way, it's gonna be super tough for Army Geniuses, because even if you win a fight on the top lane, you're only gonna get the supports most likely. Roger will give his life away from the Auxiliary, and you won't be getting any objectives out of it. So Army Geniuses need to change something. The thing is, force TPs on the bottom lane. That is the first thing you have to do if you want to change the pace of this game.
13 minutes in, 5,000 net worth advantage for RSG. Hunting for the Enigma. The vision's there. Not quite enough. It just breaks. They have to use the power shot for extra vision, and he's already TP'd out by the time they spot him. But does allow them to go for a smoke play. They know the Illuminate's there. They know the power shot's there. Let's see what AG is up to. Are they suspecting the smoke to connect on top of him? Roger, onto the high ground. And there's the Shaman. There's the TA. The Hex is there, though. He's buying some time, so they doesn't get the swap off on time. But DB's still there. Can he? Nope, Roger's still thinking, waiting. He needs it also for the Black Hole cancel. Stun onto the Timber Saw with the Vessel connecting as well. Xiaoyu with the Spear to keep him away. Saving swap. Windranger still can use Windrun to get out of there. And look at the magical damage that they're dealing. The Enigma walked in to die. The boy who didn't live. Azura goes in, looks for the Vengeful Spirit in the pit. Beautiful spear save, but there's the Chakram to finish off the Venge. But the Shackle too! The Illuminate's coming in as well, but it's not gonna connect onto the Void Spirit. Only hits onto the Timber Saw, deals some early damage. And RSG, they do get the Enigma kill, but it is a 1-for-1 trade in the end. And TB, he's been free farming all this time.
Army Geniuses are lost. So you can see that they're lost because they are uncertain of what they need to do. It's easy for us to say go towards the bottom lane, and they would probably like to, but they feel like they're gonna be met with a response. You could, if you go towards the bottom lane and you lose a fight there, you might just lose the game immediately. But if you ask me, they don't have much to look forward to. Sure, your TA will hit her timing with the Deso. The thing is, who are you gonna hit? You're not gonna get on top of the Coddle. You're not gonna get on top of the Windranger. You might get the Venge kill, but we saw how the Arena just protected the Vengeful Spirit for a very long time there. So even once this TA gets the items, it's gonna be a tough one for Army Geniuses. So I'm looking at them, and I can see despair. You can't control the top part of the map. The three heroes are staying there from RSG, out pushing the lane, and as soon as they outpush the lane enough, they go towards the mid lane. And RSG are gonna continue doing this until they decide, okay, it's time to play around our Terrorblade. Let's crush the enemies. And the Army Geniuses aren't doing any aggressive moves. The only one that I can see them making is going to the Roach Pit, but the Mass Serpent Wards is again on cooldown.
First 15 minutes of play in the second game behind us. RSG need a victory to keep themselves alive in this tournament. With a loss, they are out. We are playing 2 elimination games today. We have another best of 3 after this one. So, I hope you guys and girls stay tuning in for that one as well, with Enigma Galaxy SEA taking on the Patriots. You have to finish this one first, though. Army Geniuses with a 1-0 lead. Only 4 kills in this game. Waiting for that power spike on the TA to kick. He's very close to the Desolator.
Bottom lane.
But it is just a Dragonlance with the Deso, and they're going to find the Enigma. Terrorblade also using his Metamorph, but they also use the Glyph, so they should be able to take down this tower now. There's no defense for it. And glyphing the wave as well for the Catapult. Beautiful.
This was the move from RSG, knowing that the Serpent Wards were off cooldown. They made the fast move towards the bottom lane. You could see Zhao Yu. If there were Serpent Wards, there's no way you use the arena there just to kill the Enigma. Army Geniuses, they're having solid responses in this game, but the thing is, it's only responses. They're not making moves of their own, giving RSG time to think, how do we approach, which heroes do we use, and which spells are we gonna use. So this is a big problem. Again, RSG, they took the bottom lane. Now it's even harder for Army Geniuses to make that one move that I was saying. Use the bottom ward that you have in the lane to find the Terrorblade, at least force TPs, and put RSG in a position on the map where they don't want to be. Go from there. They're not doing it, and it's gonna continue to hurt if they don't do it still.
Wolmy, Narman would need some time, especially Wolmy with those 2 deaths on the Timber Saw. Slowed down his item timings by a tad. Like to hit his timings a bit better here too. Bon getting slowed up, but they've also got the Shadow Shaman on their sides. Look at that. Coddle is sometimes a work of art, but at the same time, one of the most frustrating players or heroes to play against in a game. We see he's got a Dagon, he's throwing in the Illuminate Blast, and he's blinding lighting you back into the Illuminate to make sure he gets the kill on just that extra Dagon zap, which really feels like a taser at times.
Yeah, pretty deadly one. No,
Deadly
it's
one
RSG, they're showing how they want to play this game. Poke, kill, get out. Poke, kill, get out until the Terrorblade is strong. They're doing this to prevent the timing of Army Geniuses, which is the TA Deso, which came out right now. There's going to be a blink, and that's the time where Army Geniuses will probably go for a smoke. You're also going to have a blink on the Enigma. They've given a lot of emphasis, okay, he already has it, on Narman to get that one up. And it wouldn't surprise me if Army Geniuses, if that smoke fails completely and utterly, that they just call GG. It's probably not gonna happen, because RSG probably won't give them a full-on team fight, but just get one kill and run out.
It can. I mean, anything is possible. They're setting up for Womi. Varus is there, though. There's the first Gale Force as well, and oh, poor Shaman. Oh, actually, the Blinding Light pushes him away. It was pretty close for the Shaman. If he was one step behind, he would have actually been pushed towards the river, or pushed right into the hands of RSG. Gets to live. There's some decent high ground defense for Army Geniuses. You know, it's still an Enigma game, but it becomes harder and harder the further you get pushed behind, because, like game 1, lack of damage can be real.
Right now, RSG are just trying to slow down the timing. They're not even pushing forward.
AG want to fight. They're already sacking the Timber Saw. I don't think this is a great start for them, but they're still going to get moved in with the Gale Force. Surprising the Wind Ranger, that's going to be the first one. They got the Shackles as well onto the Vengeful Spirit, and with the deadly damage from the TA, they're able to take down one. Narman. Everyone is disappearing, and he's getting pinned to the wall. Wind Ranger getting blown up as well, with the Illuminate coming in, and there's the Dagon. But here comes the big raid boss. It's the TB. It's MKS. Varus will go down. TA
can't
with the
die, he'll die.
TP. Oh, the spear! Coming off cooldown, able to take down DP as well. And that's going to be the end of the TA. And the big, deadly TB raid boss, he's heading straight towards the Roche pit. Let's take the Aegis for ourselves. We're gonna Scotty man to TB. I don't think there's anything that can stop RSG at the moment. They're unstoppable.
There's still a black hole in Army Geniuses. That's the main reason that they're still in this game. The black hole wasn't used and they'll be there in time. RSG, this is a greedy move. They did everything well.
TP cooldown. He can't get there in time. Roger's going to be right there to stop the Void Spirit from jumping in. Roche is now down to 3,000 HP. He needs some vision. He jumps in. It's a bit too early. Has to use the Dissimulant to get out, but he needs to time the next one correctly. There's the Gale Force, and here we look at the trip be there. Enigma's still making a run for it. Enigma now taking. MKS is going to be taking the Aegis for himself. The Shackles there from Varus and Norman looking for an angle, but they cannot go in anymore. The Aegis has already been secured. Varus will fall, and Womi actually on the run out from this fight. Timbersaw going all the way back home. AG couldn't get there in time. Enigma had a 12-second TP cooldown by the time he started moving away from his fountain, so it just comes down to seconds.
Maybe this is RSG just making a statement. Keep picking Enigma against us. One time you might get us, but the second one, we're going to apply even more pressure. And you could see that RSG kind of evolved in this series. Last game, they were constantly running in. This game, even though they have a better jump than they had in the previous one, they are keeping areas. And that is the thing. You are so far ahead, you're just keeping an area because you know that with the greater vision, you can even win a 3 versus 5 fight, which is something that happened top.
It's like the end of the Timbersaw as well. Does get the Yules off just in time as he's about to fall. Narman, black hole still unused, and now he should drop it. He's gonna have to force it onto the first life of the TB. But where's your damage? Shackle on 2, Azura down, Varus falls, and they're hiding onto the high ground. AG should be done after that fight. There's no more black hole. There's no more defense. They couldn't blow the Aegis off either off of this TB. Does look like we're looking at a tie series at the current moment. AG, they don't have the tools to fight against them right now.
Yeah, they have nothing on them, and the MKS just wants to push forward. This is complete and utter destruction of Army Geniuses from start to finish, with RSG not giving them a chance. The only chance they gave him was walking into the Roche pit, but the Enigma didn't have a TP, and I'm not even sure that it would have helped much either.
Blink Shackle there from the Wind Ranger. Doesn't quite connect though. TB on the run. Timberchain doesn't connect from Womi either, so he's not able to give up the chase and throw in a Chakram to try and blow up the TB. So he's already out of harm's way. 3-man smoke as well from the Army Geniuses. It's going to be Azura, Varus, and Narman, but they do get the catch onto the TA, onto DB, the most important hero, all by himself, and that is going to be the TA going down. Has a buyback.
Help
60
is on its
seconds.
way. Look at them, they're coming
well
to save
waiting,
here.
but here we go with the Blink Arena Spear onto the Timber. TA with a buyback. The final fight for AG is about to happen. With a jump from Azura onto the backline. Varus getting the surprise onto the supports. Maybe getting the damage onto the Coddle. Able to take the Nexus, I learn. That's going to be number 1. MKS. He needs a lot of time for his TB Metamorph to be back up again, but he doesn't need it right now. He's going full-on right-click mode with his melee form. And there we go. TA getting caught through a lonely range creep, and that's going to be looking like a dieback unless he's able to get out, and he does. And MKS is dropping low as well, but he is able to get to the low ground. Still playing around a little bit, gets the heal from the Illuminate Blast. And TA doesn't die, but neither does the TB. 2 buybacks, both Void and the TA have bought back, so no more second chances for Army Geniuses. The next one has to be a success.
We'll see. They'll have the black hole in 60 seconds. Army Geniuses, they can be a bit slower now, understanding that the Aegis... Oh, actually, Aegis is up for another 1.5 minutes, so RSG might go again.
Let's see if they do. I mean, they did smoke up and hunting for a kill. Roger trying to get some high ground vision, but they found Womi. Perfect catch as he's way too far outside of his base. The Timbersaw connecting into one stun to another. And Womi is down for 50 seconds. No buyback.
He bought a BKB, you know, which just ended up not being that useful. RSG, I actually expected them, given the way that they were playing this game, to play it completely clean, go towards the top lane, take down the last outer tower, and just continue pushing in with illusions. Then Army Geniuses wouldn't have much to look forward to, though. with these kind of moves, they are giving a chance to Army Geniuses to push out the top lane and actually get some much needed map control they didn't have for the entirety of the game. They're finally at least pushing out one lane. The trade-off, of course, is your front door getting knocked in.
Zera on the side. Enigma trying to clear out the creeps. Maybe looking for a bit of a wraparound. He's got the blink black hole. Age is 25 seconds. They won't be able to get the megas because there's still the tier 2 in the top lane. Gale Force is down. Doesn't really work on Army Geniuses as they do not take the jump. Melee ranks down. RSG, they dealt the damage. Waiting outside of the base.
They don't have to leave.
DB on the high ground in the front. All they need is one good shackle shot. This is where playing a 5 Wind Ranger is so enjoyable. You don't have to worry about too many things. Mars's BKB has been blown. He tried to get a catch on the Void Spirit and was able to dissimulate dodge just in time. And they pinged out the Coddle location in mid, so now they can leave the base. AG, what do they do? What can they do? Enigma, not enough gold for the BKB to finish.
They, with these moves from RSG, they actually gave our
They found Norman. Beautiful there with the vision provided. They see the Enigma. The Gale Force is there. The Shadow Shaman. Such an easy kill. They've got the Hex onto the TB. But there goes Xiaoyu for the save. The Arena with the Spear onto the TB. Wind Ranger taking a lot of damage, but they will blow through the refraction charges. And now fighting from the high ground, from the low ground, the TB doesn't care at all. DB down for 100 seconds. No carry. That should be game. GG called. That's it. We're going to game number 3.
Yep, we are. RSG, I would say they could have played it even a slightly bit cleaner if they went for the top part of the map. You could see that Army Geniuses, as soon as the bottom lane was left alone, they started running towards their triangle. The thing is, RSG is too fast. They get there super fast, and they're this much stronger than the Terrorblade can fight from the low ground and still crush the TA completely. You know, when the difference between the TB and the TA is 20,000 net worth to 13 in favor of the TB, you know that the game is 99% over, and there's not much that the TA can do. But RSG, it started off, let's delay the timings of Army Geniuses, and they delayed them completely without allowing Army Geniuses to play the game. They didn't get to play it at all. You're relying, okay, we're gonna hit the timing of our TA. No, you're not. They just overtake the entirety of the map. The TA is only farming the Ancients, while the Terrorblade is farming the bottom part of the map. But I have to say, Army Geniuses, they had multiple times in this game to at least extend it, to give themselves a bit more. You do it by forcing TPs. You need RSG on the other part of the map, but they kept the status quo. They kept pushing forward. This is something that you get caught in when you're playing a Timbersaw lineup. Like, I can't die. Yes, you can, especially against the Dagon Coddle. And he even had a very early Spirit Vessel. So, as we said, Womi dies, it's a problem. Womi was paper in this game, not really a tanky hero, and this is the end result.
Yeah, it was a tough game for Army Geniuses, but we have to commend RSG. Really good laning stage again, just like in game 1. They took their lessons to game number 2, held on to the script, at least in their terms, that we want to come out strong from the laning stage and dominate the game from there, which they weren't able to do in game 1, but now they did. So if game 3 is anything like that, Army Geniuses have to put emphasis on the laning stage. Slow down RSG. Take the advantage into your hands. But let's see how they react to it, as we're going to take one more break until we close out this series. One of these teams is going to be knocked out of the tournament. One of them gets to continue onward. We'll see you in a bit.